Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Heimcraft, where today we are going to be taking our auto smelting furnace to a whole new level, maximizing profits to a unforeseen magnitude. Using the brand new copper golem, we are going to be using him to transport the fuel into the furnaces for us, making it a self-sustaining furnace. Place down a double chest where we can collect all of the blocks that pop out of our furnace once they're done smelting. I'm going to be placing it around 8 away from the wall just so I have room to put down all the hoppers in the furnaces. Now that we have the collection system done for when the actual furnace is up and running, we're going to place 8 hoppers all running directly into the chest. This is going to help extract all of the items and move them down a line into the collection system. On top of these hoppers, we're going to be putting the furnaces. This is how they're going to drop off the items once they're done smelting. And then we're going to go around to the back and put 8 hoppers all leading directly into the back of the furnaces. You just lead them in by looking at the block that you want them to lead into. For the bottom ones, we lead the hoppers into each other so it travels down a line to the chest. Now we're going to put 8 hoppers all on top of these beautiful furnaces, and we're going to be just looking straight down. We're going to be doing 8 across, and then at each corner we're going to place a powered rail. We're going to go place a block 1 above and then put a switch on the side, so that way it powers the rail and it also stops the minecart from falling off the tracks. We're going to connect the 2 powered rails with regular rails. We're going to power up the other side. But first we actually have to raise the block up one so it traps the minecart from falling off of the track, and now we'll power it back up. And we're going to do this at the lower hopper system as well, but you'll notice that the rails are going to try and merge into each other. So we're just going to delete the top row of rails real quick, and we're going to place the bottom row again, and we're going to briefly extend it out 1 extra rail so it won't curve to the upper rank of rails there. We're going to go and replace all of the rails that we got rid of. But first, let's extend it out so it doesn't merge into each other. And let's get our top rail system all sorted out and working again. And then we're going to go to the bottom. And now that we have had it extended out 1 block, it won't try and bend and connect with the upper rail. And so we can just delete our temporary blocks placed there. And that's how you deal with any weirdness when you're placing the 2 different layers of railing systems. Now we need to go and raise up each corner of the lower end railroad system so it keeps the minecart trapped. And we're going to power up each corner as well once we raise up each corner. This is going to send our minecart back and forth. And boom, all of our railroads are powered up, and now we can test it out by putting the minecarts down and see if they move from side to side and that they stay on the tracks. So let's get these placed down, and they're both moving and being sent back and forth, so that means that our loading system for the blocks and for the fuel source is working. In a land far, far away, the Jeb Void Floor is a beautiful galaxy full of prosperity and peace. If you guys like this farm project and like other projects that I've done here in Heim, please like and subscribe and help push out this channel. I appreciate all the support. Now we're going to put a hopper down that's going to be going directly into the powered rail, and this is going to drop items into the minecart with a chest. So let's test it out real quick. Let's put some items in and let's see if it's getting picked up by the minecart with the chest, and it is. So this is how we're going to have the fuel get dropped and auto stored into our furnace. Now I'm going to just spawn in a copper golem and a copper chest just because we're going to need it for the farm. Just have to put a jack-o'-lantern on top of a copper block and you'll get both of those blocks. Up a half slab from where we actually have the minecart, we're going to be placing a row of cobblestone slabs, so that way we can still access the top of the chest there that's running on the upper railroad system, and we can load all of the blocks into that chest so it can be dropped into the furnaces to be smelted. And this is also going to serve as a walk area for us to get to the copper golem loading bay area that we're going to make. We have a little platform going to the chest that's running into the hopper. And now from this line that we just made, we're going to put a line of grass, but I actually want to center it with all of the furnaces. So right now I extended it too far because that's not in line with the furnaces. So I'm just going to delete the end here and just make sure that I do 8 grass blocks all centered. And I still have one out of alignment here. There is no furnace in line with the powered rails. But now that we've got that all down, we're going to be using this for bamboo. And let's keep on extending out our worker platform for the copper golem just so he has a little more space. I'm going to line the bottom of the grass blocks just so it looks a little more professional. And I'm going to extend it out a little more so we have more walking area when we go up the stairs. And I think I'm going to just quickly add another little stair here, so that way we're not falling off. Just because I'm a little bit clumsy, we're going to make the stair area a little bit wider so I can walk up more freely without having to think very much. And boom, now I'm not going to twist an ankle or fall on my way up to the farm loading area. And now we're going to be placing 8 bamboo across our grass blocks. It doesn't matter if it's on sand or grass, it all grows at the same rate. Now we're going to extend out our cobblestone platform another block here, just so we can have a wall building up to trap all of the water for our transportation system. I'm adding some support beams so it looks a little more professional and not so cringe as a farm, and it's aesthetically pleasing on the eyeballs. Gonna even add some posts here so there's not floating blocks or anything. Now we're going to place our transportation system with the water bucket, and it actually perfectly travels 8 blocks. So we're going to place it at the end of the bamboo towards the copper golem loading bay area, and it's going to end perfectly in line with the last block of the bamboo. Now we're going to put some end rods to light up around the bamboo to help encourage its growth rate, and then we're going to line a giant wall of glass. And we're doing this because the glass is a full block, and I used to have fence posts there, but when the bamboo breaks, it would clip on the edge of the fence post because fence posts aren't as wide as a full block. But the glass we can see through, so it kind of looks aesthetically pleasing for the farm on the outside. But it also helps to manipulate the bamboo to fall into the water stream more efficiently and at a higher rate. That'll help with the drop rates that we're getting for the fuel for the furnace. We're gonna build it up all the way up to these end rods, which are placed 8 higher than the start of our glass layers, and these end rods are just going to help make sure that nothing's spawning at the top of the farm like any mobs, and then also it'll help the bamboo have a continuous light source to help grow. And we're going to just build some glass on the 8th layer and also the 9th layer around the edges and around the end rods to help block in all of our bamboo and allow the bamboo to fall more likely into the stream of water, which is going to be picked up by a hopper and a chest. So let's go and get that all situated. Let's just test out the stream of water real quick and make sure that it's all running and it ends past the last block of the bamboo, and it does. So we're gonna have a hopper at the end of the water stream, and it's gonna lead into the copper chest, which the copper golem will search. And then we're gonna put a chest on top of the hopper that leads into the minecart with a chest. And hopefully the copper golem will check the copper chest and see that there's bamboo and take it and put it into our normal chest, which will be dropped into the auto smelting furnace, and it'll be a self-sustaining furnace that will just continuously get fueled by our copper golem's great fruits of labor. Very much appreciated. And we're going to put a slab so that way the blocks that travel in the water can still go into the hopper. We're going to make sure the copper golem cannot jump out of the farm by putting more fence posts. Let's get rid of the fence wall, and we're going to put a fence gate so we can get in and out, but our copper golem has no clue how to open it. And let's just drop some bamboo into the stream and see if it gets picked up into the copper chest, and if our copper golem will go and load it into our furnace. and make it a self-sustaining furnace with no need to harvest fuel because he will do all of the work for us. And it looks like it's working. He is actually doing the manual labor for us. We're going to put another slab down so the chest can still be open, and we're going to fence post it off here so the copper golem cannot escape the farm. Now we're going to go 3 high but 2 above our fence array that is blocking us from falling into our auto smelter, and we're going to be placing pistons that are perfectly in line with our bamboo line. And this is what we're going to use to auto break all of the bamboo and make all of the bamboo fall into the water stream. It's going to be our force of destruction in this beautiful farm. Let's get rid of our tent blocks, and let's figure out exactly how we can power this up. So it looks like if we have redstone on top of our piston, and then there's a redstone pulse, it will be able to power the piston and then break the bamboo. And we're going to just have redstone on every single piston and lead it into a row of glass that is behind our pistons, and then we're going to have another row of glass up and back, and then we're going to go over the first row of glass. We're going to just keep that pattern until we get to the top of our wall. And now we're going to connect up all of the redstone, and when we go and connect it to the glass row that is up into the back, the redstone actually runs through the glass. And we're going to just keep on working our way up with our redstone line until we get to 8 high. So let's just keep on making rows of glass. Make sure you have some observers ready for when you get to the top. Perfect. Let's do another row of glass here. Alright, and now that we've gotten 8 high, we're gonna finish it off with more redstone. And at the end of this redstone line, we're going to have a bunch of observers, and the observers, they're gonna just stare at our line of bamboo. And when they notice a change in the block placement directly in front of them, so that means when the bamboo grows to the length of the observer, it will actually send out a redstone signal, and it will ricochet and pulsate through the entirety of our beautiful redstone line and go to every single piston in the 8-block array, and it'll break every bamboo block. Now, above our piston line, we're going to make a wall going all the way to the top, connecting to the observers, so that way we help manipulate our drop rates of the bamboo into the water stream. Let's check out what it looks like when the bamboo breaks and see how much is actually falling into the water. Yeah, that was a pretty fair amount, and it's all going into the hopper, which is getting dropped off into the copper chest. How everything works real quick, a quick overview at the end of the video. The bamboo grows up to the observers. The observer notices that the bamboo has grown in front of it. It triggers a redstone pulse, goes down below to the pistons break the bamboo. The bamboo then goes and travels in this water flow here. It goes down all the way to the end of the 8 blocks to the 9th. It drops into the hopper, and then it goes into the chest here. This little guy's looking for the bamboo, and he goes and he takes it into this chest, which is then loaded into the furnaces. It's loaded into the furnaces by going down into the hopper, and then it gets picked up by this minecart with a chest. But what you can do is you can break this little railroad over here, and you can force this chest to be stuck underneath the hopper, so that way all of the bamboo gets collected and loaded into the chest here. And so why you would want to do that is because if you place a little half slab down and then place the minecart, I'll show you. So as you can see before, this hopper gained all of the bamboo first, and the reason it did was because when the auto furnace is running, the minecart can only pick up like 2 to 3 bamboo when it goes underneath this hopper, because it so briefly glances underneath this hopper, and so it doesn't have enough bamboo to go and traverse evenly throughout the whole entirety of the tracks. But if you go and you grab some bamboo and you place it into the loading system, it all drops down into the chest evenly. So, and then when you go and break the slab and you replace the railroad, when the minecart starts moving again, it's actually going to evenly distribute the bamboo throughout the entirety of the 8 furnaces. But if you wanted to AFK and just slowly build up every single one of your item hoppers, then you could do that too, and just have every single item hopper completely full of bamboo, and it would slowly do that over time by just having it constantly running. But if you wanted to use all 8 furnaces at once, I would just trap your minecart over here either by turning off the powered rail. My powered rail won't turn off though, I don't know if it's because the hopper's leading into it, but I can just trap it with a wooden plank while I'm AFK, and then that way all of the bamboo goes into the loading bay area, and then we can test out if it'll go into every furnace. So we'll break this and we'll place the railroad back down. Let's see. Boom. Now let's send it back and forth. Let's go and see how it's doing. So, yep, we should be getting some bamboo into every single furnace now, because now it has enough fuel source in it to evenly distribute bamboo into every furnace. Whereas if it was just auto running without being trapped, it'd only be collecting like 2 to 3 bamboo and would only fill up this furnace first, which is why that hopper is already completely full. And everything that is smelted drops down below and leads into this chest where we have done some copper smelting and some glass smelting. Thank you all for checking out Heimcraft and watching this video. This is a completely fuel self-sufficient AFK auto smelting farm, and it is really awesome for the realm. It's really beneficial. It helps you maximize profits. The free laborer does a great job of transporting the fuel from the gathering water system into the actual auto smelter. And I think this design is pretty awesome. If you guys have any ideas of how to get the powered rail off, so that way we can just have the minecart stay in place so we can evenly distribute the fuel without having to trap it with a plank, let me know down in the comments below. But I think that this farm is really useful and really great for AFKing. If you AFK, you'll just slowly accumulate more fuel anyways and fill up all of the hoppers until you get to the 8th furnace. So I'm gonna just keep on AFKing and always have a fuel source ready to go whenever I need to smelt anything in this beautiful world for any projects that I have to work on in the future. If you like the projects and the ideas that I have going on here, subscribe and like the video and comment and stick around for some more Heimcraft. Thank you all.